The purpose of this tutorial is to successfully set up the McGraw-Hill Connect ACP in the master sandbox shells for the 12 and 6-week science courses. So before we begin, I'm going to show you what you'll need and what accounts you'll need to have access to. So the first thing we need to know is that we do have access to the current sandbox shells. And for this purpose, we'll use the 12-week shells. You'll also need to make sure that if you go to the curriculum development, that you have access and can download from the science folder the McGraw-Hill ACP. So we just need to download this ACP folder. Once you download that folder, you'll have access to 4 files. The only 2 you will need are the Deep Integration XML, and only need this file if we're doing a complete rebuild, meaning that there was a version change in the sandbox shell. So for most cases, you'll only need to have access to how to set up auto copy pair, and we'll need that right at the end of the process. So we will set up the ACP for the sandbox of the AHP 215 course. So we're going to go in the course, and the first thing we need to do is make sure that we have access to 2 different accounts. We'll select People and make sure that you have a designer account. So for me, I have a designer account inside this shell, and you will need to have access to the Evolve Setup teacher account. If you do not have access to the Evolve Setup teacher account, please reach out to Dennis Marks. So once we can confirm that we have all that we need, the first step we need to do is break the connection of the old ACP. So we're going to go to Settings, and we're going to go to App. We're going to go to the View App Configuration and go to MH Connect ACP. You will only be able to access the account in your designer account. For example, I'm currently in my designer account. So we're going to open this up, we're going to edit, and it's set up in a way that unless there is a version change inside the sandbox, the only thing we will need to delete are the bottom 2 lines of code. Once that is deleted, we'll submit that, and we've started our process of breaking the old connection. At this point, we are going to sign out of our designer accounts, and we are going to open up our Evolve Setup account. And I'm just going to get that account set up. So we change in, and we are coming in with our teacher account. Once we arrive inside the teacher account, we will locate our sandbox for the AHP 215. We are going to go to Modules, and we're going to do the final step of breaking the old Connect ACP connection. It doesn't matter if we're only halfway through a term. Breaking this connection is safe because it is only the sandbox, and the connection was made and we've already published to a blueprint, so the teachers already have all the connections they need, and so this is a very safe process. First thing we're going to do is reset the section pairing, but we must keep the daniel.scullion@edaf account linked, as that is where our master sections under McGraw-Hill are housed. So we're going to reset the section pairing and reset. At this point, we've broken the connection of our old account. We now start the process of building our new Connect section. So we're going to hit pair with a Connect section. We're going to use a section that already exists because we will have already built that inside McGraw-Hill Connect. At this point, we're going to need to locate our course textbook, which is the AHP 215. And right now, I know that our next term is the AHP 215 2022 Spring. For you, it may be the summer, fall, winter, and it may be a different year, but we just have to make sure that we have got that connection already built. So we're now going to click on the AHP 215 spring and save that. So now we are starting the connection between our AHP 215 connect section and our AHP 215 canvas section. So we're going to return to canvas, and we'll see that the number has now changed to 215-2022 spring, and the section ID has changed. This number highlighted is the number that we need to formalize that connection and allow the associations to take place with the instructors. So grab a pen or pencil and write down that number. So we've got 1341-50849. Once we have that number, we're going to perform our last step inside the that teacher account, that setup evolve account. We are going to sync to double check that we have no errors. So when we are syncing, what we're looking for is any unlinked assignments. So right now we have got undeployed assignments, which are the week 1 assignments all the way through the week 12. But we have 0 unlinked. This means that all assignments created inside Connect are currently linked to our Canvas shells by the naming convention. Now it is safe to submit, and it is syncing the section. Okay, perfect. At this point, we now need to log out of our teacher account and log back in under our designer account.
So they don't want service authorizations.
At this point, we're going to go locate our AHP 215 sandbox under our designer account and finalize this process. We need to go to settings. We need to go to apps, view app configurations, and the McGraw-Hill Connect ACP, and we're going to edit this. So at this point, what we need to do is we need to open up that document we downloaded from SharePoint, how to set up auto copy pair, and I'll bring that to our screen. So inside this document, we have already covered steps 1 through 14, either from the previous setup or through the breaking of the old connections. And we're going to go to step 14. So depending if we want to give the instructors no policies, meaning they cannot edit a single thing inside the McGraw-Hill Connect shells, or do we want to give them dates only? Currently we have set up that the teachers and instructors can use dates only. So we're going to select that piece of information, we're going to copy it, and we are going to paste it below our source ID line. Now again, just delete and get back up to that top line, make sure there's no spaces after dates only. We're then going to go above there and go to ACP master section ID, make sure there's no space after the equals sign, and then we are going to type 134150849, or the section ID that you copied from the previous step. And once that has been done, we hit submit, and the ACP has been successfully set up. At this point, the sandboxes will be blueprinted and associated to the instructor.